So in the next presentation, we are going to listen to one of our vibrant and top students in this university. He's trying to teach us, lecture us, and then let us know about the effective time management for college successes. How do we manage time in reading? How do we manage time in studying? How do we manage time in doing all that we're doing in the school, especially in the university setting? So let's listen to him. I bet you will learn a lot from him. This student is top notch, very, very smart and intelligent. Let's hear him. Thank you, sir. Welcome.
Okay, everyone. So today we're going to be talking about effective time management in college success. So before getting started, my name is Yuya Mamang, but you can just call me Trey. I'm from Yangon, Myanmar, and I'm studying Bachelor of Business in Hotel and Tourism in Sam University. So today we're going to be going through about why time management matters and what is time management and the main three things that you need to follow to be good time management student, and conclusion and references. So the first thing, time management for college success. So today I'm going to be focusing on three main topics: to organize, balance, and staying consistent. Wait. So why time management matters? So poor time management skill leads to stress and burnout, and vice versa. Good time management skill helps students to stay in control and achieve their goals. So what is time management? So time management is it is implemented in your study and also in your real life situations where you part your time into a specific time frame to do specific things. So let's say in school you have many lecturer per day or per week. So you have to, let's say you're taking 6 subjects. So you have 6 different notes to take and 6 different notes to review. So it's important to manage your timetable. I'll just say timetable because it's more familiar with us. And it is important to follow your timetable in order to not cram your work in when the exam is near. So by making time management, you also reduce stress and improve academic performances. So this is obvious. If you manage your time effectively, you'll have free time for your hobbies, for your social life. So you're not very trapped in school. So it's gonna reduce stress for you. And it's also build skills for future success. So as we're graduating soon, it is important to implement the things that we've learned throughout our life and throughout our study. So also Austin just mentioned, it is important to know how to take notes, how to mind map. So I'll highlight on mind map. So it's important to implement mind mapping in your real life and work experiences. So time management in academic, work, and social life. So I will move on to the next slide. So organize your study schedule. So in organizing study schedule, many people use planners, calendars, and applications. So it might be depends on your personal view and personal preferences. So personally, I use Google Calendars and Google Note-taking Keep because it's more synced to my devices across every devices. So it's more convenient for me to write something down, even if I'm let's say if I'm not even in class, if I remember something about the class, I will write down in the notes and it will be all synced up to my every devices when I'm ready for class. So, and also some people use planners. I think it's not a very big thing in here, but schedule is very big thing for us, even back home. So you have to set your specific time of the day and specific time of the week to study specific lecture or revise. And when you're organizing your schedule, it is also important to break the tasks to which is more important and which is less important. So let's say if you have a upcoming presentation next week, you should prioritize that presentation slides first, and then you can focus on taking notes later on. And also, you should prioritize based on urgency and importance, just I mentioned. And also, it's more important to identify your most productive hour. So personally, I'm only active during night. So when I study, it's always 10 p.m. and later on because I cannot focus on morning. I'm not a morning person, I think. Moving on. And while you're making schedule, it is also important to leave out for your own personal time. So it is about balancing academic and personal life. Why it is important to care about your personal life? Let's say if you're not in every situation, let's say if you're in relationship, if you're not enjoying it, it's not gonna last, right? So it is important to part things in your life and give specific time for each thing. So it is important for your self-care. So in your free time, you can do your hobbies, socializing. I think socializing is important even for introvert person because if you stay alone or if you're not talking or communicating with other for too long, it might affect on your mental health. It's also important thing. And also the first thought is my own. I came up on my own, learn how to say no to unnecessary commitment. I think some people are like people pleasers like me, and I couldn't just say no to other people because I want to help every other people. So I think it's also important to say no sometimes. And also you have to set boundaries to avoid overscheduling. Even in your study times, you have to set specific time. And I'll also mention about one method in studying. One of the method is very important for you. And it's also important to take breaks and recharging because you cannot, let's say if you're in 3 hour long lecture, you're not getting everything that lecturers say in 3 hours. So it is important to take a break, even if the lecturer is not giving you a break. You have to give a break of your mind. So you have to focus on certain things, and you have to also take a short breaks. Okay, moving on. So also staying consistent is very important because even if you set out a planner, you set out a schedule, but if you're not following for a specific amount of time or staying consistent, this is just a waste of your time because you only follow that for only a week. It's not going to make any difference in your life. So you have to implement everything in your daily life in every way. So for staying consistent, it's important to build having like daily review and avoiding procrastination. I think everyone have procrastination. So it is important to get rid of it. And one of the methods to get rid of it is Pomodoro technique. And I'll explain briefly about it later on. And why consistency is important. It is important because it reduces stress and improves long-term result, as I just mentioned. So what is Pomodoro technique? So it is about, you might see in this, but you cannot see it. I'll just tell you that it's too pixelated up there. So the first thing is to choose a text. Let's say if you have to do, even in your work life, you have to choose a text and pick out the specific text that you have to do. And the second thing is you set a timer in your phone for 25 minutes to work all this time without distraction. So let's say in one sitting, 25 minutes without any distraction, any phone, any text message, no music maybe, in 25 minutes, and take a short break, like 5 minutes. And then repeat another 25 minutes. And if you're not finished everything, you can repeat the process. 25 minutes study, 5-minute break, 25-minute study, 5-minute breaks. I think it's important. And after finishing everything, you shouldn't move on to another subject. You should take a longer break, like 30 minutes, 1 hour, depends on your liking. Actually, I discovered this method, but I've been following this method without knowing this method because I cannot focus long minutes, long hours. I can only focus short term. So I tend to focus not even 25 minutes. I focus 20 minutes, take 10 minutes break because it works for me. So I found now this technique after I done this. Okay, so what is the benefits of time management and tips to getting started? So the benefits, I already mentioned about benefits earlier on, is improve academic performance. So by setting schedule and by having timetable, it will improve your academic performance. It's also reduce stress and burnout. And it's also part out your personal growth and social activity, like your hobbies, like your free time, your personal time. And it also prepare for your future career success. So I think we're all heading for our future career. So I think it's important to follow the things that we're gonna learn and we learned about in our academic career. And for tips, I shorten it down to 4. Start small and start slow because if you're gonna study only when the exam is near, it's not gonna work. We've done it and we're still doing it, but it's not gonna work. So start small. So let's say, as Tuya mentioned, you have to take notes in your lecture and review it. That is started small, right? So you have to do it daily, and then you're not gonna have any problem when the exam is near or your deadline in your workplace, right? And also, it is important to use the tools and techniques that works for you. And it's also important to reflect and adjust your schedule regularly because you might have different occasion, different unexpected occasion. So you have to reschedule your schedule. And also, it's important to appreciate and celebrate small wins to stay motivated. So without motivation, you're not gonna be able to do anything. So I think it's important too. So conclusion, you have to organize your schedule, I'll say, and you have to balance your schedule and your social life. And stay consistent is very important too. So start small, stay consistent, and enjoy the benefits. So these are my references. Thank you for your attention. So any questions?
Okay, so thank you very much. Can you? Okay, so go back to your starting point so that we'll look at it and see how far you've gone. Okay, so the topic is about the time. So you can stand there. Let's look at it. Is it not working?
Yeah.
Maybe
think it's okay.
because of the type of system.
I think you have to scroll with the scroll wheel.
Okay. Again, this is another way of telling us what he intends to teach us. Introduction, why time management matters, organizing your study schedule, balancing academics and personal life, staying consistent, the benefits and tips, then conclusion and reference. So, I think he mentioned 3 things here, very important. Organize, be organized, get organized. If you're not organized, the point is that you cannot make it. Academically, professionally or otherwise. Do you agree with that? Hello? Do you agree with that? You must organize yourself. Remember, we have so many challenges in life. You get that? So many challenges. Family challenges, personal challenges, school challenges, financial challenges. But then, don't get confused. You must get organized despite all these. So you have to balance them and at the same time remain consistent. Because if you start something today and leave it or start procrastinating, you will not get the answer. You will not get the result. So that's what he's trying to let us know about the skill in terms of surviving in life. Okay, why time management matters? According to him, poor time management leads to stress and burnout. Of course, you agree with that. You have to manage your time. If you want to go to party, you want to go hang out with friends, you should remember that you're a student as well. And you should remember also that you have an assignment. You should remember also that you have class the next day. These are things that we must learn. And that is study skill, time management. Good time management helps students stay in control and shift their goal. Of course, when you manage your time very well, you are in charge. Build skills for future successes. Reduces stress and improves academic. Of course, when you read and read and read and read, they say all work and no play make a jack a dull ball. How do they say it? All works and no play makes a jack. A jack is a dog. A dull one, which means he's no longer to be active because work, no exercise. So it's not acceptable. So even as a student, you should plan the time to exercise. Even as a lecturer, we also plan the time to exercise. So that is why time management is very, very essential. It will increase your academic performance. It will also, in the workplace, just like in say, you know that all of us, we come on a particular time. We have to shake our face, sign in, and when we want to go back, we sign out. The same thing is applicable in everywhere you are employed. If you are employed by any hotel and then you're always late, do you think you retain the job? No. So time management is very, very important. It helps in the workplace. Even in social life, it's very, very essential. For example, attending classes, sleeping, socializing, studying, working, even whether you are volunteering or whatever, time is very, very essential. Are you there? Do you agree with that? Even so, look at your organize your study plan, planners, calendars, and app. Break tasks into smaller chunks. Prioritize based on urgency and importance. Identify your most productive hour. For example, you have exam tomorrow for study skills. Tomorrow is what? Friday.
Friday.
And you have another exam on Monday for English 3. Which one are you going to pay attention immediately?
Study skills.
Study skill, because tomorrow is the exam. So that is why he's trying to say prioritize. Try to give each one the required time based on the urgency and the importance. Balancing academics and personal life. I think some of us fall short here because sometimes are too workaholic and some of us are bookworms, that we don't remember that life is not all about book. Life is not all about library. You can also live life in a way that people will relate with you so that you'll be tolerable, you'll be approachable. Learn to say no to unnecessary commitments. You have this, you have that, you have another person invites you, you also say yes. Do you do that?
Yes.
So learn to say no sometimes because you have deadlines, you have a lot of workloads, have a lot to do. Set boundaries to avoid scheduling, taking breaks and recharging. Yeah, very, very important. Look at the self-care, look at hobbies, and look at socializing. That is how you now balance your academic life and personal life. You should give time for yourself sometimes. And then sometimes give the time for academic. And sometimes give the time for friends. How about family? They have their own time. If these are not well balanced, sorry, there will be what? Conflict. This is wonderful, Mr. Kunya. Organize your, okay, stay consistent. Another thing is that you don't just start this one and leave it. Start this book and leave it and read another one. Everything, you have to finish one first and go to another one. Do not jump from one to another without finishing any of them. So that's why I say build habit like daily review and avoiding procrastination. Oh, I will do it tomorrow. Oh, don't worry, next time. I will continue reading next time. When will you read again? Stick to your schedule even when it is challenging. Consistency reduces stress and improves long-term results. I agree with this. Stay consistent. Finish a particular book, finish a particular study, finish a particular assignment, do not stop on the way, and then start to do another one. Okay, so now is the time for this question. So the most important thing he has taught us today is that time management is very important and very essential. Okay, questions, questions, and
Yes,
questions.
Tuya.
Yes, Professor Tuya is going to challenge Professor Yuya.
My first question is, if in your life, I mean, if sometime that you, let's say a scenario that your superior or your lecturer give you an assignment, but the deadline has to be tomorrow, but he just gives you this afternoon.
Okay.
So how will you manage your time?
So I think, let's say it's if you're in university or in your work life, actually, if it is too close, you can just say no, as I mentioned. Say no to unnecessary things. But even if it is important, you have to ask your supervisor to give extra time if you need. If you're already occupied with other job, other workloads, and if they give you another one, say sometimes you cannot say no because they are like more
They are
high powered, right?
Yeah.
So you can ask them for more time. Can you give me more time? Can you extend the time frame to this day and this day? I think it's more like approachable way to not get fired. So it's important, I think.
Anyone?
Any other questions?
Oh wait, what if they say that this is like they cannot give you more time because they also have a deadline?
Okay.
Or then what will you do about it?
So if I'm working in company, let's say, and they give you another one, right?
Yep.
And I would just say I will make a time frame for the new project and maybe do the text that exists before to another day if I can move. If I cannot adjust the time, I would just say no, I cannot accept this offer. I cannot accept this project. I would just say it. Because I would rather getting fired because I did my job bad than not doing it. So I'll just pass it on to other people or ask for other collaborative members to contribute the project.
All right.
If they're giving me OT, I probably do. It depends on the context of your project. If it is too much, I wouldn't accept it. If it is light work, I'll probably accept it with overtime payment for money.
Second question.
Okay.
Have you learned to say no?
I'm trying. I'm trying, and I actually implemented in 2025. So I'm starting you in 2025.
So you normally say yes all the time.
Yeah, you can ask them.
Everything,
Everything.
Yeah.
even in love life.
I have no love life. Not yet.
Okay, next question.
Yeah, Shell.
First question is, do you think you have good time management by
No.
yourself?
No, I'm learning to have good time management. I'm trying, yeah, but yeah, I'm trying. But I don't have good time management skills.
How are you?
So for university, I tend to do for, let's say you give us this project, right? So I started since you give it to me. So I started reading the articles since like 2 weeks ago, and I already finished the PowerPoint slide like 1 week ago. So I'm trying to learn more and, schedule my timetable more, time management. But I'm still late on some appointments and classes that I'm also trying to improve. But sometimes it's just traffic because I take bike. And this morning, my bike, the bike that I rent, called Bolt, broke down. So I had to call another one. And the second motorbike, they drive slow, very slow, even if like nearby. He drive very slow. So it depends on the
Okay, so
I'm
we're talking
trying.
about time management. We're talking about time management. Who was here earlier than others? Who came early to class today?
Shell? Early?
By 9 a.m. Who can say he's here by 9 a.m.?
9 or 2.
So all of you didn't manage the time very well because you were late.
And I'm not gonna blame it on culture, but I think African and Asian people tend to not very much
Yeah, you're
follow
very correct.
yeah.
I will blame it
time.
on culture. You are very correct. Because if you tell an African person the time, maybe he agree with 9. 9 means when he finishes. When he finishes to come, maybe that could be 11. But you agreed at 9. So he will agree with you, of course. But when he goes home or she goes home, what matters is when he or she finishes what he was doing at home. And maybe she might finish by 10 a.m. and then she will not say, oh, I remember, I think I have somewhere to go. And I think from every education, maybe Asians are like that as well. I noticed Thai students are also like that. Because
I agree that.
this time is Western
So
time.
how do you want to know how do I manage to not be late to, let's say, hangouts? I told them to like call me 1 hour early to remind me and to be finished on time. So I always say them, please just call me just 1 hour before the actual time of meeting so that I can hurry.
Wonderful.
I try to manage like that.
That's wonderful. Okay, next question. Next question. Okay. Remember that asking questions in the class at the point.
Question.
If you don't
Okay.
ask questions, you lose the point.
Okay, let's imagine. No, not let's imagine. It happened. Tomorrow we have tomorrow. Yeah, we could have a taxation. So, in case we have to study, we will have to study two subjects for one night.
Mhm.
So I think we already familiar with.
Yeah.
So, at the time, as for me, for my perspective, like while lecturing, I'm taking no system and followed by an auxiliary method, kind of. So even though when I scan me and when I'm memorizing two subjects by one night, for tomorrow exam, because I'm already ready. So do you agree with that, or do you have some suggestion for that condition?
So as I mentioned in my PowerPoint slide, I think it's more important to learn daily and review daily
Yeah.
That's the thing. But also, of course, if the exam is near, you have to review everything in one night, right? So I think is if you take notes regularly and take out the bullet point, the key point regularly, you can only focuses on the bullet point instead of reading every passages that you've learned. So I think reviewing key points only make you review faster.
Yeah.
So I think it's more important to take notes daily and review the key points
Yeah.
on the
You
night
don't need
before.
to review every day.
Yeah.
Just tell me the key point. No need
Yeah,
to match
key point.
everything. Yeah.
So because if you study regularly, daily, maybe regularly, not daily, you will remember. You should be able to remember everything, or at least had an idea to rewrite in your own writing
Yeah.
in exams. So personally, I don't even study that much before exams, and I don't even learn daily. I think it's more important to active listening in your lectures and taking note in your lecture because I don't review them, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't review them after my class, but I tend to focus active listening on lecture the best I could do.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
That's what I meant.
I don't really study, if I'm be honest.
Another question.
Let me think.
Get the topic. Okay, so that's good.
I'm talking about balanced time, all right? Like, for
Yeah.
example, when you have to study in Science University, but you're also doing internship, but next day, tomorrow, you have to take the important exam, but the hotel call you or company want you coming to work tonight.
Yeah.
So, like, what are you gonna do? Like, are you gonna say no, or like how you balance like your time to like take time to review, or like
Okay, so I think you're referring about doing internship while you're studying, right?
Yes.
So exam schedule, they are out few weeks in advance on which day they're gonna take place, right? So, and I also believe that if you're doing internship, you can only take like 3 subject maximum. So it should be fine for you to time frame your study and internship. And also you can request your companies to give specific day off for your exam. I believe they give like
Okay.
leave days for your exam. Even if they don't give you, you can just take off and say them I have exam, right?
okay.
Because I think they're not like very hard on focus on internship student because they understand that we also have to study while working there. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah. You?
If you
Okay.
don't request the company side,
Right,
if
right.
you request the university side,
Uh-huh.
so what's the connection happen?
No, because I think it's more important to request on your internship side because you're doing internship because it is needed in your university, right?
Yeah.
So, and also internship is like you're learning at your job, maybe without getting paid, and you're just learning. You're not actually working. You're learning while you're working, but you're not working at the same time. So I think university more important than internship daily work. University
But you can
exams is more important.
But you
So
can
as I
adjust it.
mentioned, you learn how to say no, and you should prioritize based on urgency and importance. So I think you should request on your company side more rather than university because university cannot adjust on your personal timetable because they have to follow certain things and certain timetable for every other students too.
But like for some guys, they have to like they job not alone. They have like I mean social time, because like they always have to do focus work, and they don't have social. They cannot manage their time, so like um. So what do you think they can do like for how because sometimes if like boss say something, you cannot say no. You have to do. You don't have like, for example, you have to you want to head out with your girlfriend today, or like anywhere nothing like, but you cannot not manage your time.
Okay, that's a tough question. So I would say just say no to, you have to say no to one side, or you can
Right.
delay.
But it's difficult, like some like work and like your self care,
Okay,
right? So
yeah.
which one you think is more important?
It depends,
Depends.
because I'll probably focus more on self care, because if I'm not happy, I'm not gonna be able to work longer in that work environment. So I think it's more important for your self care, while also um, thinking about your work life. So it depends on your scaling and scheduling, and I think it's also different on personal.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It depends on people.
Yeah.
It's like before I ask question, I have some comments about the work-life balance. Since the how do I say, the company and the employers are saying, according to the statistics, that the Generation Z, they tend more on the work-life balance. They like having an importance to work-life balance, while the older generation have like, they can work overtime, they can stress, they can do a lot of things, but so like they also have so the Gen Zs are like hard to find their jobs because of you have too much work but little life or like social hobby or self-care like that. It's true, but so here my, and let me ask my question.
Okay, wait. Before you ask your question, can I add more comment? Because I think also in work environment, I think it's hard to implement new things to your existing traditional work, right? But I think it's also important to implement the trend changes and the walking style changes with the Gen Z, because if you're not very, following up with the trend, your company gonna be in the past, because trend changes very quickly. So I also think Gen Z have more creative thinking or up to date thinking. So I think it's important to like balance between hiring like Gen Gen X, Gen Y, millenniums, and Gen Z. So I think it's important to blend everything. And also, as Grace asked me, I think it's also important to like blend the work culture and working environment to adjust your time and your personal life and your work life. You can ask your question now.
All right. So my question here is that you mentioned that your active time is at night.
Yeah.
Right. So let's just say that you are forced to change to the morning, because when you're working, your active time has to be like a morning person,
Sure.
like that. So how will you adapt to this new change?
I think it's part of your life and it's part of your learning, because of course not everyone can adapt your liking, your personal preferences. So sometimes you have to like blend in and adapt to your new job environment, let's say. So I think I couldn't completely change my active hours to morning. So what I can do, I can probably do some kind of active in our morning, and I'll do more of that work later on at night. Or I will do before morning, I'll do at night, and then I'll implement on morning.
But
That
you
makes
will
sense.
tire. I mean, because
It'll be tiring, but I think that's how I have to adapt.
Oh.
It's not very healthy work life, but I think I would just have to adapt it. But it also depends on the context of your project, because if it is, as I mentioned here, if I use Pomodoro, I think I can manage it, because even in morning time, I mentioned you that I'm active on night, but I didn't mean that I'm not active on daytime. I'm more active on nighttime, so I could be active on daytime too.
Yeah,
Just
but
not like, but
if-
at my very best. But if I want to make my very best, I can use this technique. Focus, break, focus, break. I think I'll just implement that more rather than like.
I mean, for me, I will not do at night because when I came back from work, I will be too tired. Will ignore everything and relax.
Yeah.
That's it, you know.
I might change when I started working,
Because
but I'm talking in my like present day.
I will
Experience.
finish today assignments on that day in my work 9 to 5. That's it.
Of course, that's why it's also important to like part your schedule
Yeah.
between your work life and personal life. I'm not gonna be doing work overtime at night. Maybe I will be thinking for a while, but not every time. Okay, any other questions? Shide?
Any other question?
One more, just one more.
Oh, okay. Like,
Two more, okay.
can you change to the schedule?
Where?
Yeah, here.
Here?
That one, last one.
Wait, this one?
Yeah, for like you have to, you do plan like for a week or month, right? With calendar or like a plan, but have emergency, like disturb your plan. So what are you gonna do?
So
Because every day have a new thing happen.
Yeah.
So yeah.
yeah, so I like your question because you mentioned about making a plan, right? You already have a calendar and your schedule.
Yeah.
If there's an emergency, you can kind of like take out the less important thing or delay the less important thing, and you can put emergency at the front. So if you already have a calendar schedule, it's more easier to like put the emergency first. That's why it's important to have your organized schedule.
Yeah.
I already mentioned.
Do you think time management can suddenly change procrastination or introvert person behavior? Do you think this person can suddenly change?
Sorry, can you like a little bit voice up?
Yes. Do you think time management can suddenly change procrastination or introvert person behavior?
I think it's all our life is all about learning. So if you're staying in your comfort zone, you're not gonna make a progress. So it's about learning. It's about changing your lifestyle, changing about your way of working, way of studying. So I think it depends on you. You cannot change this in one day. It takes time for everything. So it's important to take time. I think I already mentioned in one of my slides, take time. And you have to adapt to your new environment, your new challenges. So you cannot change in one day, you cannot change in one night. You have to take time to part your schedule, your lifestyle. And then you take time, just take time. Calm down.
Okay, so thank you very much. We are very glad that we have come to an end of your presentation, and thank you for being very strong and solid and suggestive in all your thoughts. What we are talking about, time management, and is very, very essential, is very, very important, and is very, very vital to everybody. And look at how he put it. He said, organize yourself, balance it up, at the same time, stay consistent. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
So I do hope and I do think that after this class, we must have all learned a lot about time management. It's very, very essential. Okay, so thank you very much as we see you next time.
Next video.